In Cumberland County, I think our results over the last 4 years are truly showing that, in fact, all kids can learn. You just have to put the systems in place. 92% of our schools made growth by North Carolina standard. It meant that our proficiency for the first time on all tests except for one were higher than the state average. We passed the Charlottes and all the other urban systems in our proficiencies, and when you look at our gap between our minority students and majority students, it's the lowest in the state. We have schools that prove the myth about poverty is wrong if in fact you focus on growth for every child. It's easy to stereotype school systems, but when you come into Cumberland County and you meet the people and you get to see the principals and the teachers and the interaction with kids, you don't see that a lot of places, and you know it's special, and it's special because of the people. They care. So as a system, we just try to make kids understand that they have potential and that their mistakes can be forgiven, and we can make them successful.
When you're talking about positive climate of a school, I can't quantify that necessarily, but I can only tell you it's a feel. I think even as a parent, when you walk into a school, that this is a good school, it's a welcoming school, people work together. People are happy to be here, kids want to be here. It's a feeling about the school. When you walk into a classroom, when you go into the district office, go into human resources, different divisions, people are here to help you. You'll see kids engaging the activities. It's not so much just what the teachers are doing, it's whether or not the kids are engaged. One thing that I am most proud of our school district is absolutely collaboration. I think for a school district that has over 53,000 students, 49 schools, over 5,000 employees, to have overwhelmingly a sense of trust is very, very unique in all my experiences.
What's happened in California over the last several years is over a 20% cut in funding to public education, and yet we seem to have shown tremendous results in our achievement with our students and closing the achievement gap. We became a data-driven organization that had singular focus on student achievement and student learning in the classroom. And we put in school reform measures that were based on what the principals and the teachers and the parents at the schools felt like they needed in order for their children to achieve. It's a tremendous challenge to make sure that when we offer a broad and challenging curriculum, that is offered uniformly in a way that provides equity around the district without squashing the school's ability to have the instructional program the way they might see fit for their children as well. A focus for San Diego Unified is quality schools in every neighborhood. We believe that your zip code or your financial status should not determine the quality of education. And we broadly define quality as something more than just test scores. Our mission is to ensure that every student graduates ready to make a positive difference in the world. We talk about students being actively literate, contributing, participating members of society who make a positive difference in the world.
Some of the challenges that our kids have to face in Houston start with poverty. We have 80% of our kids on free and reduced lunch. We know we have to overcome that. People that would say a child's personal, family, community circumstances play the largest role in their education, I'd say to them, we can't control that. Let me tell you what we can control. We can control the quality of the teacher in the classroom. We can control the learning environment. We can control the academic rigor. We can control the expectations. We all know that the road to prosperity from poverty runs right through the public schoolhouse door. We know that. And in urban education, we know it better than most. We don't look out the window to try to find blame and cause. We look inside the schoolhouse. We ask ourselves, do we have enough tutoring? We ask ourselves, are the lessons engaging enough? Do we have the type of structure in place to provide these kids the type of enforcement and support they need. We ask ourselves a lot of questions about us, not about them. We can't control them, but I can promise you this: if we focus enough on them and on us, we can help change their lives forever.
So there's something special about all of those districts, and I still love, I've seen that video several times, and I love hearing the superintendents talk about their work, very passionate and committed to the work that they do and the work that their teams do every day. So this is one of my favorite parts of the Broad Prize. One of my favorite people, U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan, seems to be everywhere these days. He's on a tour bus crossing the country to talk to teachers, parents, and students, and I'm still hoping for my tour t-shirt to take away. He's been talking to college students on BuzzFeed. He's been comparing notes with education entrepreneurs on Google Hangout, and even taking to the airwaves on the Colbert Report. His energy is remarkable, but it's his dedication and his commitment to improving America's public schools that make him a catalytic force of nature when it comes to education. Secretary Duncan has worked closely with President Obama to make education a priority for our country, because they know the health of our schools is a bellwether for our economy as well as our national security. He's on the road more often than he is in Washington because he knows that the best ideas come from the trenches, from teachers in the classrooms, principals in the schools, superintendents and administrators. This is the 5th year he has joined us to announce the winner of the Broad Prize. So please give a warm welcome to U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan.
Thank you so much, Greg, for that kind introduction. I'm thrilled to be here, and normally I do have to travel outside of Washington to get some inspiration these days, and I appreciate you guys coming here to give it to us. Saved me a trip. First, a couple quick thank yous. Please give another round of applause to Candace and to her mom for their hard work. Candace, we talk a lot about grit and tenacity and perseverance, and you absolutely embody that, and how we help to share that with other young people who had the big heart, who may face some challenges, but with some help can get through. You're living that life, and thank you for the example you set for so many. To the Uncommon School system, it is not a school, it's a system, 10,000 students. Please give them a round of applause for the remarkable work they're doing. I have to admit, I was so impressed with what Uncommon Schools was doing that I stole Brett's chief of staff to be my chief of staff, and I hope he's forgiven me, but it is amazing to see the gaps they're closing. And then just the folks in the room, 2 of my predecessors, Secretary Page and Secretary Riley. The public support is fantastic. What they have done for me privately and quietly, you guys have no idea what that means to me. So thank you so much for the leadership that you provided to the country, but thanks personally for the support. And they can see around corners and walls that I don't even know exists. And being able to pick their brains has been so helpful. Governor Rendell is just an amazing public service, and his heart and his passion for kids is something I wish more governors shared. Alma Powell is here. Mrs. Powell, not just on the national scale, but right in the inner city here in D.C., is doing extraordinary work along with her husband every single day to make a difference. Congressman Miller, I don't say this lightly, if we had more congressmen with not just his brains, but with his heart, our country would be in a better place. And I wish his colleagues did a better job of listening to him. And then finally, if we can give another round of applause to Mr. and Mrs. Broad for their extraordinary commitment to education this year. Of all the issues they can invest their time and energy and money and resources, I'm sure education is not the easiest one. And it is tough, it is hard, it is difficult. So difficult, in fact, that many folks walk away from it. And the fact that you have stayed with it and persevered, and not just nationally, but his hometown of Detroit, which has struggled, the commitment, more than the dollars, more than the resources, again, on a personal level, thank you for the source of inspiration. And we're in this for the long haul. And the challenges, everyone knows, are real. Dropout rates unacceptably high. Have to increase graduation rates. Have to make sure our high school graduates are truly college and career ready, and we're not lying to them. But we're making real progress. Those graduation rates are at 30-year highs. Black and Latino college going rates are up. So long way to go, but we're making real progress. And Greg mentioned in his introduction the bus tour. We go do a back-to-school bus tour every single year. Came off the bus about 2 weeks ago. 5 states, 4 days. 5 days, 4 states. 1,100 miles. Pretty cool bus. A little better than a regular school bus. But I have to tell you, for all the challenges we face, it is remarkable to see what's going on every single day. Went to an early childhood center where the principal grew up picking watermelons in the fields with her parents. And she was able somehow to get an education, could have done lots of things, but she knew education had transformed her life and wanted to come back and help babies like she had been helped. She's doing an amazing, amazing job there. Went to a middle school that had been turned around in Chula Vista in California, where historically lots of gang issues, lots of violence, attendance was very low. In just a couple short years, that school now has the highest attendance rates in the district. Same children, same socioeconomic challenges, same families, same neighborhood, same building, different adults, different set of expectations, different sense of what's possible. And to see their enthusiasm, and see the college-going culture that was being built there with 6th and 7th graders was absolutely remarkable. Went to an early college high school in El Paso, Texas. Walked into a 9th grade biology class where 9th graders were taking a college class for college credit. These are all first-generation college goers. Folks say, people drop out because high school is too hard. I think most people drop out of high school because it's too easy. They get bored. These were 9th graders, first-generation college goers, getting college credit as 13 and 14-year-olds. They're on a path to be extraordinarily successful. And then finally, I went to school, and I'd just never seen anything like this in my life before. Right on the border between the U.S. and Mexico, it's Columbus, New Mexico. Of the 700 students in Columbus Elementary, 500, and they're all U.S. citizens, actually live in Mexico. And so 4 and 5 and 6-year-olds travel across that border every single day. And these are families who are living in abject poverty on the other side. Many don't have running water. Many haven't used an indoor toilet before, haven't held a pencil, read a book. But these are parents every single day getting their kids up at 4 and 5 in the morning to cross that border with their little laminated birth certificates to try and give them a better education. And you have teachers who are meeting them on the other side of the border, on the U.S. side, at 6 in the morning, not in their job description, not in their whatever, to make sure they're safe. And you have a community that every single day is doing remarkable things to try and give these kids a chance to pursue the American dream. So for all the challenges we face, for all the noise you might hear in Washington and other places, go out to real schools, visit real communities, and you walk away feeling amazingly hopeful about what this country can do. And obviously our 4 districts today are absolutely leading the way in that transformative change, not overnight, over time, but closing gaps, giving kids opportunities, not using poverty or social challenges or issues in the community as an excuse, recognizing them as very real challenges, but being creative in how to overcome them. It's amazing to see. I just want to quickly walk through a couple highlights of each of the districts before announcing the prize. And I'll start with the Corona-Norco Unified School District. Corona-Norco has done a fantastic job of shoring up achievement gaps within the Hispanic community. Last year, Hispanic elementary students performed at the advanced level in reading, math, and science, and ranked in the top 30% in California when compared to other Hispanic students across the state of California. And they're pretty resourceful, too. Despite a 25% cut in their budget in 2008-09, the district saved $3 million a year by reducing bus services, purchasing energy directly from suppliers to save about $2.5 million, and renegotiated its waste removal contract, saving over $500,000. And lastly, the district launched a comprehensive college and career readiness program for all students that includes career and technical education courses, the IB program, which is fantastic, honors, AP and AVID, and dual enrollment with community colleges. And starting 2 years ago, all students were required to take the sequence of courses needed to gain entry into California's state colleges and universities. And can we please ask the team from Corona-Norco to please stand and give them a round of applause for all their hard work. Our next district is Cumberland County Schools in North Carolina. And Cumberland is a military community located near Fort Bragg. About 60% of their students live below the poverty line. Cumberland has been increasing its graduation rate steadily by an average of 4% annually in recent years. The district has also made incredible inroads in narrowing the achievement gap, with a greater percentage of the district's African American students in 2012 reaching advanced academic levels in reading, math, and science than in any other school district in North Carolina. At the helm of the district is Superintendent Frank Till Jr., who not coincidentally came from Broward County Public Schools, a three-time Broad finalist before coming to Cumberland. And under his fantastic leadership, the district devised an innovative assessment system that uses the students' past testing data to project future performance and sets markers for student growth for every single student in every course. And as a result, in the past 4 years, the district has had one of the most impressive student improvement trajectories among urban school districts. And I'd like that team from Cumberland to please stand up and give them a round of applause. Our next finalist is Houston Independent School District, and they won, I think, the Broad's first prize with Secretary Page at the helm then. Today's superintendent, Terry Greer, has made some very tough choices when he came aboard. He placed every teacher into one of 4 performance tiers and rewarded the strongest performers with bonuses of over $136 million, while those at the bottom tier received growth plans. But with changes came high expectations and even higher achievements. The district now has the highest SAT participation among other urban school districts around the country for all students, and especially for Hispanic and African American students. And while the district puts a premium on accountability and performance, principals and teachers are given both wide autonomy and deep support from the central office. Could the team from Houston please stand up and give them a round of applause? In our last district, also from California, California is well represented here, is San Diego Unified School District. And they're a first-time finalist, so we're thrilled to see them in this year's mix. The district has taken a community-based approach to school reform with an emphasis on revitalizing its neighborhood schools. Last year, the district performed better than those in other California districts with similar demographics in elementary, middle, and high school in all areas, reading, math, and science. They also have narrowed the achievement gap between Hispanic students and the state's white students at all school levels from 33 points in 2010 to 26 in 2012. And one of the big reasons for the turnaround was because the district placed an ELL specialist teacher in every elementary and secondary school with high concentrations of English language learners. Another reason for their success was the extensive vetting process for principal candidates, which involved local parents and community members in the interview process and made the superintendent accountable for principal performance on improving student achievement. And can we ask the team from San Diego to please stand and give them a round of applause? All right, we asked Greg to find the famous envelope. Hopefully he has it. Here's the envelope. Moment you all have been waiting for. The winner of the 2013 Broad Prize is the Houston Independent School District.
So if I can ask Terry to come up just for a moment. Why don't we
Ooh. Interestingly enough, when Jason Spencer, who helps work in our communications department, said, well, I put a few words together for you just in case. I know last year I didn't prepare any comments, and frankly, this year I didn't either. You know, it's just such an honor to be here with so many really great educational colleagues. Look out here at Cindy from San Diego, who was a principal when I was there, Bill Koba, who worked together and then became superintendent after I left, and all of our friends from California, and Frank Teal and I have gone back forever. And just to be able to work in an environment today where you have so many people that are dedicated to a singular cause, and that cause is our young people and their future. We all choose to work in urban education. It's not easy. Change is tough. Improvement is hard. But what we have come to all know and realize is that if we just have a singular purpose of those young people being our North Star and staying focused there, what we can accomplish together with partners, with people who care the way we care about their young people and our future and their future, anything's possible, including winning a wonderful award like this twice. I'd like to start out by saying thank you very much to the Broads. They are true heroes, American heroes, when you think about how they have chosen to spend their money and the way they support what we do every day. And you know, it's not just to them about public schools or charter schools or private schools. It's about children. It's about how adults work together to make sure that kids have a bright tomorrow, because our future today is linked directly to the quality of education that are being produced in our schools, charter, public, or private, in America today. If you want to know what America is going to look like 20 years or 30 years from now, I invite you to come to Houston, Texas. We're the most diverse school district in the country. We're the most diverse city in the country. Our poverty rate, it's not going down, it's going up. But what we're able to do because of a group of dedicated teachers and committed support staff and principals who care desperately about the young people and their communities, having a Board of Education that is singularly focused on the young people. Our board, I can say this about them, under the leadership of Anna Eastman, our current board chairman, every time we've met since I've been in the district since 2009, every single meeting we've had, the focus of our conversation is around children. We don't ever talk about adult issues. Now, we have them, but that does not drive what we talk about. I couldn't be more humbled, honored, or pleased to be here today. Frankly, this was a shock and a surprise. There's just so many other people doing such good work. And honestly, I really believe there could be 4 winners up here today. I've said to one of my colleagues early this morning, you know, one of these days it's going to come as a big surprise. They're going to have co-winners because that's the kind of work that's being done here. This really comes back down to, I believe, what goes on in the classroom every day. I believe that it has a lot to do with the type of autonomy that we've been able to give our principals in Houston. Our principals have great discretion. We give our principals funding mechanism based on a weighted student formula, and they have complete flexibility on how to spend those dollars. We're the largest site-based decision-making district in the world. And I can promise you, when you have a Broad group come and they want to know how do you do this and how you do that, when you're so really decentralized as we are, it's kind of hard to push and pull that all together. But under our board's leadership over the last number of years, we've established some centralized standards, which we said to folks, look, you have great flexibility, but here's some things that our board insists that we do on behalf of our young people. And our teachers in the classroom have stepped up. We have the best teacher corps and the best principals and support staff in the country. We talk a lot in Houston about Team HISD. And we have a great team. Again, to the Broads, thank you so much. We have wonderful leadership right now and a great Secretary of Education. We've had other great secretaries of education. There's 2 in the audience. I consider both friends. When I was a much younger superintendent in Darlington, South Carolina, I happened to then work for the best educational governor in the world. His name was Richard Riley, and he's sitting right out here. And currently, I have the fortune to live in what I think to be the finest city in America, and I've lived all over the country. And Houston is a fantastic place to live, and I have a unique privilege of being able to call a gentleman by the name of Rod Page friend. He's been a good mentor to a lot of us in education. He is, without doubt, a visionary, and he's someone that it's been wonderful to work to follow. He had a lot of good things in place. So thank y'all all for today. Thank you to the Broads, and we're very humbled to accept this award on behalf of Team HISD and the great teachers, principals, and support staff that we have in our school district. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you very much, Terry, and to all our distinguished guests and panelists today. Congratulations to Houston ISD and to all the finalist districts. On your way out, please be sure to pick up a 2013 Broad Prize brochure that will give you more details about the great work that's going on in all of these districts. And we hope you'll have a chance to join us next year in New York City when we'll announce the winner of the 2014 Broad Prize on September 22nd. We'll continue our celebration at a networking reception upstairs in the members' room, and there'll be escorts outside the auditorium to lead you there. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again next year.